Hello everyone. Our next professional skill is analysis and evaluation. You know, we have already discussed that there will be three questions in AFM. So analysis and evaluation will be tested in question number 1, question number 2, and question number 3. Whenever there is numerical, analysis and evaluation skill will be tested. Technically, what is analysis and evaluation? If examiner asks you to calculate NPV, IRR, or valuation of some company or shareholder gain or loss of some company, you have to discuss, you have to interpret, you have to judge, you have to advise on that calculation. If you are not advising, if you are not recommending, if you are not interpreting the result, you will probably lose analysis and evaluation marks. So it is not all about solving the numerical. It is not all about just calculating the NPV, IRR, or some valuation of the company. You have to interpret, you have to do the recommendation, you have to compare it, and you have to give the recommendation. So it is not all about the calculator. It is all about explaining the calculation. So if you are explaining the calculation, you will get these marks. If you are only dumping the numerical word in the Excel without writing anything, you will lose the precious analysis and evaluation professional skill marks. So this skill is, if you're calculating the NPV, write the recommendation with pros and cons. If the NPV is positive, if you are saying that we should accept the project, you should also write that company should see these points as well. For example, if NPV is positive 100 million, so you will write it is advisable for the company to select the project because it is increasing the wealth of shareholders as the NPV is positive. However, company should consider further evaluation by applying sensitivity analysis, by applying scenario analysis, because project has a limited life or because project is another country. So company should apply the more risk measuring tactics. So you have to explain what you have done. If, for example, you have calculated VAT by ungearing, unlevering the proxy company, you will write in your calculation that it is assumed that the proxy company has a similar nature of the risk, similar nature of the operations. However, two companies cannot be same. So you will explain what you have done, then you will get these marks. Examiner says that student often dump all calculation or all points without comparing them, which earns no evaluation credit. So ACCA guideline is break down, interpret, evaluate, contrast, weigh up, and conclude what you have done. For example, whenever you are solving NPV, present the finding. Whenever you are solving the ratios, present the finding. Compare it, interpret it, expand your calculation with your thoughts. Interpret the meaning, what it tells you, direction, strength, drawbacks of that calculation. Compare and contrast better words option. Highlight the trade-off. For example, if someone asks you to compare 2 points and you are recommending one, you will tell what is the benefit if you opt this and what is the drawback if you drop it. Let me give you the example. For example, there are two options, share for share exchange and cash offer. You are recommending cash offer because it has higher gain. But you also have to tell that there is a immediate tax on the cash offer. If you're recommending share for share exchange because it is a huge gain, you also have to tell that this is unrealized gain. This depends upon the actual realization of the future events. So whenever you are doing any numerical, you have to explain it, the positive side of that, the negative side of that. For example, if you are comparing forward and future, forward answer is lower and future answer is higher. So you are recommending the future. You will also tell You will also tell that in future, there will be margin requirements. In future, there will be a basis risk, which we are not considering here. If you're comparing future and option, for example, future answer is better, option answer is not better, you will write that option answer is not better because you are paying immediate premium. However, if market moves in opposite direction, option will give you more benefit. So whenever you are doing numerical, you have to compare your result. You have to tell the positive side, you have to tell the negative side, you have to interpret the result. Markers want evidence, interpretation, comparison, judgment. So for example, financing option. You are comparing bonds versus equity. Bonds issue is cheaper, but it will increase the gearing. Cheaper funding, but higher financial risk. So if there is a risk of higher gearing, you will recommend the equity. And in recommending the equity, if there is some issue, for example, company has not given dividend for 5 years, you will then tell that it is also difficult to raise funds from the equity because you have not given dividend for few years. Recommend balance structure, partly debt, partly equity in that case. Hedging technique, if you are comparing future and option, future lock-in rate is better, but future has a problem of margin call, basis risk, and future is better compared to option. Why? Because in option you have to pay the premium, but option can be better if situation changes, the market moves to opposite direction. So future removes upside, option preserve it. In volatile market, future will give you more, option will give you more benefit. For example, investor present, NPV is 20 million, IRR is 15%, and you are recommending it, but the problem is it is high risky compared to the other option. So if you are comparing two options and NPV and IRR is better in A option, and you are blindly sporting that based on NPV, we should accept this. You also have to tell the other story. Maybe A is better, but A has more risk. So in short, whether a question tested from investor appraisal, merger, risk management, any area, you have to interpret the result. You have to compare the result with the other option. And in comparison, you have to tell the positive side, which pros, and negative side, the cons. For example, if you are recommending future without stating its pros and cons, you will not get the marks. So in exam, if you're comparing swaps, future, options, forward with others, you have to write the pros and cons. If in question, if you are comparing share for share and cash offer, you have to compare the pros and cons. For example, share for share, gain is higher, but share for share gain is higher, that is positive side. And you will get some percentage control of the company as well. But the negative side is that gain is unrealized. Cash offer gain is lower, but that is realized. Quick checklist. Did I compare alternatives? Did I highlight strength and weakness? Did I show trade-off, pros and cons? Did I give a clear recommendation? So in short, whenever you are doing any numerical, state what you have done. State the positive and negative side of that. Pros and cons, strength and weakness, trade-off, cost and flexibility, and then recommendation. To score analysis and valuation marks in AFM, do not just list result. Interpret, compare, weigh up, recommend. That flow demonstrates judgment, which is exactly what the examiner rewards. So whenever there is numerical, explain what you have done, write the pros and cons, then give the judgment. Whether it's a comparison between forward and future, future and option, NPV of two questions, share for share or cash offer, anything, any topic, any numerical. If you're explaining the numerical, writing pros and cons of that numerical, then giving the judgment, you will get full marks in the professional skills of analysis and evaluation. Please follow this technique and rest of all the practice questions. Thank you so much.